Hello and welcome to the Intuitive Messenger channel. I am Mitchell and this is your energy forecast for today, Wednesday, June the 4th, 2014. And as always, thank you for taking time to watch, post, retweet, subscribe, become a fan, like, all that fun stuff we do on social media. I truly, truly appreciate it as we all build together a quality community of like-minded individuals. So today is our number 4 day. I can just feel the difference in the energy today compared to yesterday. It's like, oh, I took my B complex vitamin and I feel much better. Um, Definitely. I invited sadness in yesterday and the last 2 days and just kind of said, hey, come on in. What's going on? What's happening? I embraced it, which I've talked about in the last few videos. So today, number 4. 4 is our emperor. 4 is a feminine number, but our emperor is a masculine kind of guy. So he's very balanced in my reads and my feels for him when I do reading. So look for that very balanced, very stable energy today. That's what the 4 is. 4 points, 4 corners of the world, 4 directions of the world. It's just a solid, cornerstones, very solid. You add up all the numbers today, and you're going to get the number 17, which is the star card, which is about hope, rebuilding, rebirth, rising from the ashes, if you will, because yesterday was a 16 number, just very shifting, moving, changing, wiping the slate clean. For those of you who I did YouTube readings for yesterday, boy, several of you had that 16 card, the tower card, pop right up. And I love how even a lot of times on the day, because when I get people's videos to read, I look when I can put them in, and I always feel like Spirit sets me down and says, here's a time to do this one and this one and this one. So divine timing is amazing. So 16 also boils down to number 7, and 7 is that chariot energy in the entire year. 2014 is 7. And for me, that is quick, fast moving, changing. I may get a vintage mug. So we'll see. But that energy is quick, shifting, moving, changing, chariot energy for me. Sometimes it can be stuck and like traditional right away, but in my decks, it's always like there's movement there. 7 is a very moving number. It's not quite as volatile, unstable as 5, but it's like we're on the road. We've made our decision. We had our, little road trip fight, and now we're back in the car driving. But I also pulled, actually, and that is so funny, I am messing up numbers again. So keep that in mind, because today 17 is 8, which is strength card. So there's still some residue from that chariot from yesterday left over today, because I'm still talking about it. But today is number 8. I got the notes right in front of me. You think I could read them. But it's 8 energy, which is strength. So we're definitely got a combination of that, and there's still some residue left over from yesterday. On Sunday, for this day, I pulled the Ace of Cups. New emotional start from yesterday. Queen of Cups to the Ace of Cups. So it's almost like our queen said, okay, I learned something. I've got something going on. And I'm also normally I don't do this, but I also look at tomorrow, and the card I pulled was the Empress. So Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups, Empress. Sounds like somebody might have had some good love and conception happened over the last 36 hours. So if you find yourself pregnant, you definitely send me a note and let me know. I mean, like, conception would have happened literally in the last 36 hours. So that Ace of Cups. So let me pull a Lenormand card for today and see where we are, kind of the noun of the day. Letter. We've been having the letter come up a lot lately. I probably know why. For me, I know why, because I'm going to talk about a letter. This is number 27, which is 9, which is bringing things to completion. It's also 7 of Swords, which is that 7 of letting your mental energy be taken away. But it is the letter. So again, look for letters, communications, emails. It could be a page out of a book, if it's a specific page rather than you're reading a whole book. But it's usually just like a simple note or text or email of sorts. And then the adjective of terror to go along with it, Knight of Cups. Now that's fun, coming after all this Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups, and then Empress. So might have been a younger man. So the Knight of Cups is often our younger males, but can be female. But the Cups is feminine, so it's a younger male who's a little more emotional, a little more impetuous with that emotions, and probably just passionate. Very, very passionate, rather than just like very passionate sexually, just passionate and involved. And they'll see a sunrise and go, "Wow, man, that's just beautiful." Just really emotional about things. Still learning how to step and grow into them. So today, I also feel like I just heard from Spirit. The letter text that you're going to get is bringing about a lot of almost giddy emotions that you're out of control. So, use your strength and use that hope and rebirth, because it might be a letter of inspiration that takes you to another level, and definitely feel stable with that number 4 energy. So beautiful, beautiful. So, excuse me. I think I need another sip of coffee. Hold on. It's my second half cup. I had about a full cup and then a half cup. Yesterday somebody posted it and I reposted it. John Edward wrote, and the psychic medium wrote a letter, and it was so funny because he was just kind of ranting and raving, and it was in. I think I know him well enough in his work and things that this rant was not random, but very pointed, very thought out, probably edited. But he was just upset. Somebody, I guess, was saying he's too expensive, he's this, he's that. And, it got me thinking, because no one's ever directly attacked me on it, because of, I think, just my energy level. I keep it high enough where I'm not getting involved with that. But people do wonder a lot of times, well, how they'll say, well, I think this gift that you have, talking to other psychic and mediums, should be a free gift to people around you. And I just say bullshit to that. And the reason I say that is because my day job that I go to, that I'm paid a big check for, is no different than this job. Because when I walk through that job that day, I am the same spiritual being. I don't separate this work from that work. If I am and people always say, well, I'm sure the minister's getting paid. You can always go back to that argument, but I don't even like using that one as an argument, because I know my pastor was probably $120,000 and the church was about 1,200 person church. So I know he's paid well to do what he did. I don't even like to use that one. First of all, I don't use the word gift for my abilities. These are abilities that I think we all have. Now, if you want to say something special about me, you can say how hard I've worked on my abilities to get to this point, because I have busted my ass for 6, 7, actually 10 years, 10 straight years reading. There are probably about 100 books on either side of me here that I have read through, processed, studied. I mean, I've been in my PhD. So if you want to say anything, about, something special about me, just the hard work that I've done to get to this place, meaning working on my abilities, understanding the cards, connecting with spirit. I mean, I've driven home from many classes where I just felt like crap. Like, boy, that was a sucky night of practicing. I didn't get nothing right. So when we talk about, because I believe everybody has the same ability as this, just like singing. I can sing, but I am not a Pavarotti. If I work hard, I might be able to get a little better, but innately it's not my path, so I may not get as great as him. So we can all play the piano, but ding, 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 ding. But it might take a whole lot of practice to get to where you're playing like Lenormand. Is that somebody plays piano, or is he a wind instrument? So my point being, first of all, money is just another form of energy. If you give me a chicken, it's the same as giving me money, because I'd have to buy the chicken. When I started doing readings, this is prompted from somebody else was asking about doing their first reading. I said, what do you value yourself? My value, quote, has increased as I felt my value has increased. And, if there are people who literally are charging $500 for 30 minutes, my heart goes, oh my gosh. But I also go, more power to them if they get that. They're attracting a level of clientele that either wants it, needs it, can afford it. If somebody doesn't want to pay it, don't pay it. I'm not going to pay that. I might one day, but it's all energy. And if you pay something that's a little more than you can afford, then you're putting a little more of your energy into it. You're putting a little more of yourself, your belief into it. And that's a big intention setting. So it's just energy exchange. When we come to the whole, well, a spiritual gift should be given away. And again, I said that's bullshit. We all have the ability to do this, to do whatever it is. You can hug someone and make a difference that I can't. You can be a better mother that I'll never be able to do. Is that a gift or an ability? Because I can mother someone, but I'm not practicing on it. I know I'm rambling, but I'm enjoying it right now. John Edward writes a letter, I do a video. But the bottom line is, if you personally don't feel you should be charging money for this, then don't. But right now, I keep my prices at a certain place because I do have a day job that pretty much takes care of all of my other things. If this becomes my full-time job, I might have to have an assistant, an office, et cetera, and that would start being reflected in my prices and things. Which is why a lot of those people's prices are higher, because they have to have a personal assistant and an office space and taxes and insurance and all kinds of different stuff. So all that being said, trust your own intuition when it comes to what is what. Don't reflect it onto somebody else. If you don't feel somebody should be charging that much, that's your issue, not theirs, because they're doing it and they're good with it and they're comfortable with it. And especially someone like John Edward, who's gotten to that level. If from a karmic standpoint, he's just doing it for the money, which I don't believe he is, it's going to come back and swing back and bite him. We've seen that time and time again. But yes, all that being said, so check out my website, intuitivemessenger.org, because, and this is the other thing that he said, he offers a ton of things for free. I mean, every morning I spend about 45 minutes processing this. I don't get paid for this. Well, I get paid for this. I'll probably get 20 cents for this video when it's all said and done. Because it took me 14 months before I got even a check for all the YouTube videos, because I monetize it. So, and that check was $100. So I averaged that out, and I think it was about maybe 20 cents a video. Yeah, I'm rolling in it. The point being, once again, is I don't know what the point is. So if you made it this far, God bless you. God bless you. I'm sweating. Somebody's receiving some healing. So once again, I rambled. If you made it this far, you might be just as crazy as I am. So thank you for watching. Intuitivemessenger.org. There are 2 spreads up. You can buy both or single. One is for the Forgive Me spread, and the other is Path to Peace. And they actually both work kind of together, especially if the path to peace leads to the fact that a relationship might need to end, then the Forgive Me steps in. So check it out. I will post tomorrow. Then I'm off to Atlanta for the paranormal conference, and I'll be doing some videos from there and on the road. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.